Call the meeting to order, please. Rise for a salute of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I ask everyone to please stay standing for a moment? We'd like to have a moment of silence because this week, throughout our community, in the emergency services in our fire community, we lost 3 people that were dedicated to our community. First is our captain of over 50 years with the Eastover Fire Company, Fred Edding. The next is Ken Sosowski from Dover Brick First Aid, and also Stacy Spotts from Fire Company Number 2. Please keep them and their family in your thoughts and prayers. I'd like to have a moment of silence for them. Thank you. This meeting is convened in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey. Let the official minutes reflect that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publishing a notice in the Asbury Park Press or on Wednesday, January 8th, 2020, the Press of Atlantic City and the Star Ledger, and also forwarded to the Toms River Times, Toms River Patch, and WOBM News on Monday, January 6, 2020, and thereafter posted same on the Town Hall Bulletin Board for such notices, and filing same with the Township Clerk pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Township Council on Friday, January 3, 2020. The meeting dates have also been posted on the Township web page. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Here.
Councilman Kopp.
Here.
Councilman Latano.
Here.
Councilman Roderick.
Here.
Councilman Turnbach.
Here.
Council Vice President Gagan.
Here.
Council President Maruka.
Present.
First item on the agenda, the approval of minutes of July 14th, 2020.
Move the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp?
Yes.
Councilman Latano?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Gagan?
Yes.
Council President Maruka.
Abstain, I did not attend.
We do not have any presentations tonight, so we will move on to number 7 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, restructuring certain administrative positions in the Department of Finance, final reading.
This is a final reading and public hearing on this ordinance. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. And once called upon, state your name and address and town for the record.
Seeing none, I move to close the public comments portion of this ordinance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move the ordinance on final.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kopp?
Yes.
Councilman Latano?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Last meeting, I was told that this ordinance would only change some titles, some job titles, but it turns out that it also results in a raise or some raises. So respectfully, I'm going to vote no. This is not the time to be granting raises, particularly given the tax increase and the current circumstances we find ourselves in as a country. So respectfully, no.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Gagan?
Yes.
Council President Maruka.
On this ordinance here, there's actually a savings because they are consolidating positions. Someone is getting a slight bump in raise, but there is a cost saving over $20,000, and I vote yes.
Item 8 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing the following positions and salary ranges of Section 147-1, Salary Ranges, of Chapter 147, Salaries and Compensation, of the Township Code, Schedule C, Supervisory Employees, Schedule G, Toms River Professionals Association, White-Collar Employees, and Schedule H, Confidential Employees. Final reading.
This is the public hearing and the final reading on this ordinance. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. Once called upon, please come to the mic and state your name and address and town for the record.
Seeing none, I move to close the public comments portion of the hearing.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move the ordinance on final.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
No, again, here we are giving raises to confidential to the supervisory employees, or at least extending the ranges to which the mayor can then grant those raises without coming to council. So again, I think this is not the time to be giving raises, so respectfully, I vote no.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbull, would you just mind before you vote on that? Mr. Amoruso, our business administrator, acting business administrator, could you just give us a little background on this ordinance, please?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I guess you can. Okay. Essentially, what this is it's assigning salaries to the new positions that were created under the restructuring of the prior ordinance. We have to have a mechanism by which to pay these people, so these positions are created. This is a companion ordinance. There's also an amendment to one position that was an oversight when the previous salary ordinance was put through. That employee will exceed the limits of the original salary ordinance, so it had to be amended so that we also have a mechanism to pay that employee.
Someone did get
Thank
a
you,
raise.
Mr. Amoruso.
Are some folks getting raises, or am I wrong on that?
You're wrong on that. There's one person.
One person getting a
Right.
raise. But
One person is
with the
getting a
new-
$6,000 raise, and the ordinance also accounts for, in that same restructuring ordinance, savings of between $20,000 and $25,000 in total. So it's depending on when that new person that's filling an existing position that will be lost to attrition to retirement gets hired, what that starting salary is. We expect it to be in the $55,000 range. It's currently $85,000 plus.
But once a range is established, the mayor can just grant the raise, correct?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, sir.
Sorry, it's the microphone. I said once the salary range is established, the mayor can just grant the raise, correct? If he doesn't have to come to us after that,
It
correct?
has to be in the budget.
So there may be a savings now, but a week from now, you could decide that you're going to increase that salary if it's within that range,
In
correct?
keeping with the law, he could, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Mayor, are you planning on raising anybody's salary in the next week?
No, I'm not.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Councilman Turnbull.
With that, by way of background, which we had prior to this meeting, I'll vote yes.
Council Vice President Gagan.
I also looked into the ordinance prior to this meeting and the last one, and I vote yes.
Council President Maruka.
Yes.
Item 9, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing various sections of Chapter 348, Land Use and Development Regulations of the Township Code, first reading.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
No.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Gagan.
Yes.
Council President Maruka.
Oh, yes, this ordinance was brought to our attention by the OBVTA and also some businesses in the downtown. It extends their parking area for supplemental parking from 500 feet to 1,000 feet. We feel in this business climate, anything we can do to help our businesses would be work to their advantage, and I vote yes.
Item 10 is a resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, appointing James Gluck Esquire as municipal judge of the courts of the Township of Toms River and designating him as the presiding judge of that court.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Council Vice President Gagan, second by Councilman Lotano. Council Vice President Gagan.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
I have to abstain. I have a conflict. I appear before Judge Gluck and other municipalities, so I will abstain.
Council President Maruka.
Oh, yes, this resolution putting James Gluck Esquire as our municipal presiding judge, is replacing Judge Ligori, who just retired. And I wish Judge Ligori well, and I know Judge Gluck will do a good job, and I vote yes.
Item 11 is also a resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, consenting to the appointment of Donna Seaver to serve as Municipal Court Administrator, commencing August 1, 2020, and terminating July 31, 2021.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Motion was made by Council Vice President Gagan, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Council Vice President Gagan.
Before I vote, Donna has worked for our court system for quite some time. I remember her working the midnight shift way back in the 80s and whatnot, and I'm proud to see she's stepping up and replacing our retirement in that position. I vote yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Latano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Again, I have to abstain because I have a professional relationship with Ms. Seaver. I've worked with her in the municipal court, so I abstain.
Council President Maruka.
Yes. Okay, next is our consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda will be enacted by motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired on any item, that item will be considered separately. Does anyone on the council have an item?
Yes, I would like to pull K for further discussion and table it until the next meeting, which I believe is August 11th.
Okay, we're going to table K till August 11th. Anyone else from the council?
I also wanted to table K, but I don't think it matters at this point, so.
We need to do
Oh, yeah.
No,
we need to make motion to table.
well, we're going to go through the consent. Okay, anyone else from the council? Okay, anyone from the public have an item they wish to speak upon? All right. Can I have a motion on the balance of the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to move the balance of the consent agenda with the except the item K, as in king.
Second?
Motion was made to pass the consent agenda with the exception of item K, made by Council Vice President Gagan, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Council Vice President Gagan.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Latano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council President Maruka.
Yes. Item K, Councilman Latano, you want to table that?
Yes, I would like to have a further discussion with that and
Okay.
table it till the next meeting, if that's all right.
Second?
Councilman Roderick, did you have any discussion on K or table?
No, I'm fine with tabling it for now.
Okay.
I wanted to table.
August
August
11th.
11th.
That's our next meeting.
Motion to table to August 11th for item K, made by Councilman Latano, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Latano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Gagan.
Yes.
Council President Maruka.
Yes.
We do not have any reports tonight, so we will move on to the bills.
Move the bill list.
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Turnbach.
Abstain from PO 20-3641, payable to magistrates, PO 20-3149, and 20-1314, payable to officers of Dasty McGuckin. I have a conflict with both of those as I'm a local attorney in town, and I work with both of those individuals and the magistrates. Also going to abstain from 20-2704, that's payable to James Sitta. I was law clerk to James Sitta in 2002. I have a conflict there. I'm abstaining from PO 20-3292, payable to Dana Diedelmeyer, professional relationship with Mr. Diedelmeyer. Yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Abstain from PO 20-00162, payable to Borough of Lavallette, and PO 20-03158, payable to Remington and Burnick Engineers, and PO 20-03641, lines 17 and 18, only as it pertains to recreation salaries, yes to the balance.
Councilman Kopp.
I abstain from the following: 20-03461 payable to Oceans Harbor House, 20-02556, 20-03148, 20-03513 payable to Owen and Little Associates, 20-03675 payable to Silverton First Aid, and 20-03611 payable to Berkeley Township. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Latano.
Yes, with the following abstentions. 20-03565 payable to Mr. Keys, Inc. I have a professional conflict. 19-03911 payable to O'Donnell Stanton Associates. Again, I have a professional conflict. And 20-03018 payable to Preferred Behavioral Health. They're a tenant of mine. I have a conflict.
Councilman Roderick.
I'm going to be voting no to all bills payable to Dasty, Murphy, and McGuckin PC and Gregory P. McGuckin. Yes to the balance.
Council Vice President Gagan.
I just have one abstention. That's to Silverton First Aid, purchase order number 20-03675. Yes to the remainder.
And Council President Maruka.
Abstain to PO 20-03149, payable to Dasty McGuckin, attorneys at law, 20-01314, payable to Gregory McGuckin Esquire, and 20-03604, payable to NJMVC, and 20-03641, Tom's River payroll, item number 93, which references the NJMVC lease program. I have a conflict. Yes to the balance.
Next, we have elected officials' comments.
Mayor Hill.
Thank you, Council President. This year is a census year, 2020. We have them every 10 years. It's mandated by the Constitution since 1790. We did a PSA, both Dave Roberts and I, with the YMCA regarding the census. It's critical that we have everybody counted. You can do it online, you can do it over the phone, you can do it via mail. The representation in the House of Representatives is dependent upon the count of the population within the state and within our different congressional districts. It also has a lot to do with the federal funding we receive. And as we know, New Jersey is last in this entire nation as far as return for tax dollar. For every dollar that's sent to DC, we get back 50 cents on the dollar. So it's imperative that we get a full count. Anybody who has not responded to the census form, either electronically or via phone or via mail, starting August 11th, you'll be receiving calls. There'll be enumerators who'll be going out counting. They may be knocking on doors to make sure that we get an accurate count. Right now, Toms River's at about 61%. That's about the average for the county. But we'd like to see everyone counted, no matter what. There's no data that's taken that's used for anything other than just a head count as of the number of people that are here in a different household as of April 1st. So it's important that we get the word out to everyone to be counted. And that's all I have, other than to wish Councilman Turnback a happy birthday. Getting cake later? Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hill. Councilwoman York.
I'd just like to, first of all, acknowledge the many messages of support and encouragement that I've received since the Truth of My Words was published a couple of weeks ago. Those messages represent the Toms River that I know and love, and I know that together we can continue to do great things for Toms River. So thank you. And then to keep our businesses going as much as possible, I want to just let everybody know and remind them that Burger 25 is opening at a new location on Route 37 this week, and they're going to have outdoor dining. So please, patronize our businesses as they are continuing to struggle through this crisis. And then Just Believe is opening a thrift store on August 12th. And that money is going to go to support our Code Blue program that we've worked so hard to establish and support. So, and finally, I just want to remind everyone to wear masks if you can't stay at least 6 feet apart in a well-ventilated room. Like this room is large, it's well-ventilated. Even if you're in a close room that's not well-ventilated, even if you're 6 feet apart, you should still wear masks. The evidence is starting to come in, and, it's really pretty striking. Make sure you're social distancing and keep washing your hands. We're doing really well in New Jersey, so let's keep it up. And if you're traveling outside of the state, it's now up to 34 states. So pretty much, if you're traveling, quarantine for 14 days. And that's it. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman Herrick. Councilman Roderick.
I have nothing for this evening.
Councilman Turnback.
Thank you, Council President. I want to thank Mayor Hill and Council President Maruka for continuing to support our food distribution. Each week we're gathering on Fridays, and we're certainly servicing a need in the community. 2 weeks ago, we had about 270 boxes of food that were handed out to 270 families. They were gone within 45 minutes. This week we're up to 330 boxes in the rain, still gone. So we have a wonderful group of volunteers. I can't say enough about our CSO officers that are out there. Mayor Hill's been out there with me serving the food in the rain, but it's really a wonderful experience, and it's something that is impacting our residents that are in need. Every Sunday or Monday, Council President is reaching out to fulfill, which has been fantastic, putting the order in, and it's really, we've been doing this for 4 months now, and it's probably been the most special experience I've had while on this council, because it's what we're here to do. We're here to serve. We're public servants, and we're meeting the need of the public right now. I want to, in that same line, recognize Pastor Paul Gifford and Dina Gifford of the First Assembly of God Church at 800 Bay Avenue. Our food distribution starts up at 7 o'clock on a Friday morning. We have people there by 8:30. It's advertised for 11 to 12:30, but people know, and they're there. And inevitably, by 12:15, when we're out of food, we have cars pulling in people that need food. Children are in that car. The Assembly of God is backing us up every week. From 2 to 4 every Friday, they run the same food distribution. So anyone that comes in that we can't service, this church is stepping up and providing food for. I will tell you, every week, I'm over at the Assembly of God as soon as this one is done, because we have deliveries to make to residents that can't get to the food distribution site. And they welcome us in with open arms. They provide us with more food than you could ever believe. And there's nothing more special than going to a door of somebody that either can't get out or is hungry, and you're there to help and provide. So at a time and a place when this is completed, and we're going to have a lot of people to honor in honoring resolutions, and two of those people are Pastor Paul Gifford and Dina Gifford. They're very special to this community. We're lucky to have them. I want to encourage all of our residents to continue to come to Downtown Night Out on Friday and Saturday nights. I want to thank the Toms River Business Improvement District for sponsoring that event, and they've provided me with some numbers that are very telling. Now, Daddy-O's is a restaurant that generally was a breakfast and lunch restaurant. They're now doing dinners. On Friday night, Daddy-O's had 80 reservations. On Saturday night, they had 88 reservations, some of which were members of this council that were out supporting the Downtown Night Out. The distillery just opened down here. They're doing 45% of their business right now on Friday and Saturday nights. On Saturday night when we were down there, they've installed garage doors that open up, and they have live music playing to the public for everyone that's dining at Capone's, Daddy-O's, Crave. It really is something that post-COVID, this town should continue to look into and make it a permanent thing, that it is completely saving and supporting our downtown businesses. So please, if you're there, come on out. If you haven't been there, I encourage you to check it out. The Farmers Market is tomorrow, runs from 11 to 5 p.m. Please go down and support the Farmers Market and the local people that are down there selling their products. we have a business incubator in the Business Improvement District downtown. Right now, there are 6 retail spaces available, so if you're interested in starting a business downtown, it's a great spot to start. It's affordable. It's designed to allow people to get a startup without having to pay enormous rents. So if you have an interest in starting up downtown, please reach out to the bid. There's 6 retail spaces available in the business incubator. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you, Councilor Turnback. Councilman Cobb.
I just want to wish Councilman Turnback a very happy birthday. Other than that, I have nothing further this evening, Council President.
Okay. Councilman Latano.
Thank you very much, Council President. Again, I was going to wish him a happy birthday, but everybody else has, so. I want to also echo what Councilman Turnbuck said. Friday and Saturday nights, downtown, dining in the street has been a tremendous success. People are just happy to be out of their houses in a group setting like that. The environment is very energetic and fun, and everybody's thrilled. There's multiple restaurants there, so if you didn't realize that, along with the ones that Councilman Turnbuck mentioned, The Well and Taco-tastic and Time for All Season are there as well. So there's a lot of options, a lot of choices. I know people are a little afraid of the heat. It's been blistering hot outside. Once that sun gets behind the Wells Fargo Bank, it's actually very comfortable, and you won't be sorry you went because it's a very fun atmosphere. I want to thank the bid and Toms River Police Department. Without both of those groups, this would not be happening, and this is a very good thing for our community that should continue all year long. That's all I have tonight. Thank you very much, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Latano. Councilman Gigan.
Happy birthday, Councilman. I would just like to make a comment on some current events that are coming out involving the Toms River School Board. I'm sure most of you here this evening are aware that yesterday the petitions for school board were due. Well, like politics, right away rumors, innuendos, fake news sites have already started to spread misinformation on the candidates and some elected officials, including myself. Yes, I've been asked for endorsements from some candidates. And no, I have not endorsed any candidate or slate, nor will I. I have not signed anyone's petition. I've never sought any individual out and asked them to run for school board either. I was elected by you, the people who govern the township, not the school board. My property taxes, like all of yours, about half goes to the school system. I do not have any kids in the school system, and nor will I. That being said, I would like our schools to be funded properly, our children to be educated properly, and the school system to thrive. If our schools fail, the community fails. I do believe the school board should be nonpartisan, and truly the best people for the job should be elected. Regardless of the outcome of that election, we have to work together to succeed. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Gigan. I just want to touch a little bit on what Councilman Turnbuck had said about our Pop the Trunk events on a Friday. We started this on Good Friday. We probably planned it maybe a few days before, and we were just looking to serve a need to our residents. We knew there was a need, we just didn't realize how great that need was and how long that need would be for. But this council and this mayor will be here for the residents. We help organize it, but it's really our faith-based communities, our community volunteers, and just our residents that are the engine that make it go every week. They come with enthusiasm. They come willing to help people. We have teams that just go out and deliver that the residents can't make it over there to the Presbyterian Church. And, definitely a shout out to them, because when they started working on some of the schools and we had to switch our locations and consolidate, the Presbyterian Church did step up, and it's a great central location for everything to take place there. But it's really our faith-based, our volunteers that are the unsung heroes of this program, and can't say enough about Fulfill, because every week when that number goes up and up, they always meet the need. And they're just such a great organization, and they're just not feeling the need in our community. They're doing it up and down Ocean and Monmouth County. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to them. And then also just a couple of issues over in Ortley Beach. I know they're working on their streetscape project, Mr. Roberts. I know they had a Zoom meeting last week, and things are moving ahead on that. And then also in the northern beaches, a couple weeks ago, we actually put in a curfew because we were having some issues with, I want to say, young teenagers and even some older teenagers or people in their early 20s congregating and going up to the beach and having some summertime fun. And we've always had issues on holiday weekends over there, be it Memorial Day or 4th of July, but we never saw the destruction. We've never saw the vandalism as we had this year. And something had to happen, and we put that in place right before the 4th of July. Well, actually, we put that in place around the 4th of July weekend there. And it has curtailed. Has it stopped it completely? No, but our police department is out there in full force every weekend. And just last week, our neighbors to the south, Lavalette, mirrored our curfew. So I just want to say for the residents of Wortley Beach, if we're monitoring that, the police department is under the leadership of Chief Little and Deputy Chief Belcher. They haven't seen the significant rise there, but if they do, now that Lavalette has a curfew in, we will take another look at it and possibly extending the geographic boundaries of that. If the data is there, we will. So just a couple of the things I wanted to speak about this evening, and last but not least, happy birthday, Councilman Turnbull. At this point, I'm just going to open it up for public comment. Anyone wishing to come up, have a public comment, please raise your hand. Once called upon, you'll come up to the microphone and you will state your name and address for the record. Anyone from the public wishing to comment? Sir?
Jimmy Rowland, 34, 37 Bergen Avenue. First of all, happy birthday, Council. I did respond online regarding the food program. I'd like to donate. I didn't get an answer as to where I could possibly donate, but I'd like to certainly do something to help the cause. It's a good thing you're doing for the residents.
The best thing to do would to donate to Fulfill, to make a donation to Fulfill.
Fulfill is the name?
Yes, Fulfill.
Respond just on a simple-
It's a, yeah, Fulfill's the food bank of Ocean and Monmouth County.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
As you know, I was here last week and I spoke about pay to play problems that we have in our town and the breaking of our ordinance regarding the no bid contract that was given to Assemblyman Guthrie. In the meantime, I've done some research that I'd like to share with you regarding some of the donations that have gone on in our town. In the last election cycle, Councilman Latano, Councilman Cobb, Councilman Gavin, and Mayor Hill received $12,250 in donations from Assemblyman Guthrie and his firm. Again, you all voted for an ordinance receiving that, knowing that you're breaking the pay-to-play laws of our town. Last year, Mr. McGufflin's firm got $165,300 of the Toms River taxpayers' money. And this year, you could add more to that.
You know, can I just ask you a question? With that monies there, I believe that was through the planning board and the zoning board, and I believe they're through the escrow funds of those boards?
Well, where do those funds derive from?
They're paid by the applicant.
Okay, so he paid for his own $163,000?
No, I'm saying they're paid by the applicant for the planning board and the zoning board. I just want to make a clarification on
I
that.
appreciate that, and that's that whole $163,000?
If it was for the planning board and zoning board work, yes.
Okay, but again, I'll ask you, is that for the whole $163,000?
I would say that
That's all consisted of?
we'd have to break that down, but I'm saying the majority of it because that's what he was.
$500,000 no bid contract?
I don't believe there was a $500,000 no bid contract out, but that's your opinion on that. We beg to differ.
Again, I'm sure, and that will come out in litigation, that will.
Yes, that will.
Further, you wonder why Ocean County is awash in pay-to-play politics, starting from the freeholders on down, and you start to look at this thick stack of papers that I have in my hand that consists of donations, all given by Assemblyman McGuffin and his firm to different politicians all across New Jersey. For those generous donations, this firm derived over $1.8 million in contracts and payments last year. This is the problem with politics in Ocean County, the state of New Jersey. It's broken. We cannot have proper governance when we have cronies and donors having people like this spend almost $1.8 million. And if we can't count on elected bodies of our towns and our county to do something to not allow this, again, politics is broken. And I would implore all of you to take a serious step back as to what it is you're doing and who it is you're allowing to represent our town. To that, I put a petition up on change.org that you're all welcome to look up, and I will bring it to your attention as I verify it and bring it. There are over 200 signatures. And they're asking for the censure of this entire council, minus Councilman Roderick, and for the resignation of Mayor Hill. That you guys will do anything with, and I will bring you back the conclusion of that petition. This is not going to go away. This is a problem that needs to be addressed, and I know you smirked at it last week as I talked about it, but it's not good. This needs to be addressed, and I would ask this body to take some serious measures in being extremely careful who you give our taxpayers money to. Have a good evening.
You too, sir. Anyone else from the public wishing to comment?
Seeing none, I move to close the public comments portion of this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to move into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances to discuss matters requiring confidentiality and/or of a privileged nature. And whereas the Township Council is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Toms River in the County of Ocean and State of New Jersey as follows. The Township Council will now conduct a private executive session. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed and/or acted upon is as follows. Matters of personnel, attorney-client privilege, settlement of claim, land acquisitions, and contract negotiations. The following specific items to be discussed and/or acted upon are as follows. Executive session minutes review of both May 26, 2020 and July 14, 2020. Personnel issues of the Township Clerk's Office and Administration. Review of status of all real property acquisitions. And vacation of the alleyway off of Dover Street. It is anticipated that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Council that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. Motion to go into executive session made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach, with all in favor at 6:35 p.m.
I left my bag in that room. Okay. So when we go down there, you didn't lock that yet, right?
I don't know, sometimes the door doesn't show all the way, if it's on, it'll just like that.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Do I have a motion to go back into public session? All in favor? Do I have a motion to adopt the minutes of July 14th of 2020? Yes, the executive session minutes, I'm sorry. I will call roll. Motion made by Councilman Kopp, seconded by Councilman Latano. Motion made by Councilman Latano, seconded by Councilman Kopp. Councilman Latano. Yes. Councilman Kopp. Yes. Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
July 14th.
I'm going to abstain. Thank you.
Councilman Roderick changes his vote to an abstention. Council Vice President Gagan.
Yes.
Council President Maruka.
Abstain. I did not attend.
And do I have a motion to adopt the executive session minutes of May 26, 2020?
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Latano. Councilwoman Yurick. Yes. Councilman Latano.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick. Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Gagan.
Yes.
Council President Maruka.
Yes.
And do we have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. 7:30 on the dot.